What's going on, guys? Power of Tabarn here, and we are here with the first game of the set between Duckofawesome and Haruno. I am very excited to watch this set, see how it goes. In my pre-game analysis video I made earlier, I said that I predict Duck to win 3-2, but I think that this is a set that could really swing anyway. I don't think that Haruno winning it is out of the realm of possibility whatsoever. So it's going to be pretty close. It's going to be intense. Excited. So right now, just waiting for the players to reveal their MCs. I'll probably cut some of this stuff out in post-editing. Or in editing. I don't know why I said post-editing. It's not a thing. It looks like Haruno has locked in his MC. Knowing Haruno, if I had to guess, it's probably going to be Tiki. He generally leads with Tiki in Conquest format. Duck has played his MC. And Duck rolls a 6. Let's see if Haruno can match it. He does not. So Duck is going first. We'll see if that impacts things. It'll depend on what... Well, I mean, obviously, in this game, it's always beneficial to go first, but how beneficial it is to go first really depends on the MCs being played. Like an MC like Selkie, for an example, benefits a lot more from going first than a different MC. Alright, Soren versus Femui. So this is a pretty interesting matchup. Both of these decks are, both of these players very strong decks, so the winner of this match probably doesn't matter too much in the context of the set, because in the case of Haruno, if his Femui fails to beat Duck Soren, then he can probably take a game off of Duck's Mia or Ike fairly easily with Femui, and vice versa. If Duck fails to beat Femui with Soren, then he can probably take a game off of Tiki or Elise with Soren fairly easily. I think that of Haruno's 3 decks, Femui is probably the only one that has like a good matchup against Soren. I'd say that Tiki doesn't do too well against Soren. It's certainly winnable for Tiki, but I don't really see Tiki winning the matchup that easily. And I think that Elise is it's basically unwinnable for Elise. So Duck, very characteristic of Duck, he's starting off with some early game aggression. He's critting to help lower his hand size. For those of you unaware, how Soren MC basically plays is that you use this card right here, Soren, Great Leader's Tactician, the 4/3. If I could get the effect, that'd be great. There we go. And the deck is basically centered around generating free advantage with Soren's first skill, Battle of the Small Army, which states that at the start of your turn, if you have 3 or less cards in your hand, you can draw a card. So free draws, as many of you I'm sure are aware, are some of the strongest effects in Cypher. Just being able to draw a card for free without having to pay any cost. And Soren can potentially do this infinitely, but he needs to keep his hand size low. This makes him a very high-rolled deck because he basically lives and dies by his top deck since he has a low hand size. He draws lots of cards, but if they aren't the cards that he needs, he can be in trouble. Either way, so Duck gets his promotion. He's going to swing into Femui. Femui, that bridge promo, I'll pull it up here. It gets +10 if Duck doesn't have any units on board, but he does, so he's going to be able to go for 60 versus 60 trade and hit. 30 into 60, that does not hit. Right now, it looks like Duck has more orbs than Haruno, but I think Haruno is definitely in a more favorable position right now. Duck really hasn't managed to get much rolling on the board right now. Haruno has a lot of cards in his hand, and he still has 2 orbs left. That being said, he won't be able to promote this turn. He's going to have to wait until next turn to promote, meaning that if Duck wants to really... and Haruno goes for Maria. He's going to heal 2 cards with Maria. It's going to continue to put him ahead. Yeah, he's going to heal a Tiki and a Femui dodge. Help improve his survivability a bit. I wonder if Haruno will decide to attack. Against Soren, you generally don't have much reason not to attack. Oh, he's tap moving back. That's interesting. I don't know if I would have done that. Must not have that many evades. Either that or he's just bluffing, but like, I don't know how I feel about that play, because Duck is the type of player who always kind of will just go all in on the opposing MC regardless of whether you decide to bluff or not. So
I feel like I would have just attacked MC, because you give him an orb. Giving Soren orbs in many circumstances doesn't actually give him any more card advantage than he would normally have, due to how Battle of the Small Army works as a skill. Nino is a very important card for Soren, though. Main reason for this is that it allows Soren to filter the cards in his hand.
It ensures that he has a steady supply of evades, which is important because, as I mentioned earlier, getting orbs as Soren can mess up your small armies. If you're at 3 cards in hand and you take an orb, then you go up to 4 cards in hand and you won't draw an extra card. Having evade solves that issue. That's why Nino's a really important card. That is one of your main assets in ensuring that you keep a low hand size so you can continue to draw free cards with Soren. So, right now, I think what Duck really needs is a May, so he can help clear this front row. He has a Tiki and a Maria on the front row, and it's Femui, so in Femui in general, her main strength is just having an iron grasp over the field. Nino is going to get cleared out of there, and Haruno is most likely going to dedicate Tiki and Maria's actions towards attacking Soren. We'll see if this hits. Does not. Femui does give +10 to her field, but only if she has 2 black bonds, which at the moment she doesn't. That Tiki hit is going to hit, though. It still would have hit even if Haruno didn't clash chain, didn't clash chain because he got the flyer. Haruno's going to move up, likely going to prepare an assault on Duck. And right now, I'd say things are looking good for Haruno. Duck missed a Dark Staff, small army proc. He still has 2 orbs. He probably has a lot of evades in hand, especially considering that he was willing to use a Femui dodge for a Wings of Darkness Never Ending instead of just trying to kill the Nino with Tiki and Maria. Pretty aggressive play, all things considered. Oh man, I don't know what's in Duck's hand. Must not be good though. He's only deploying a Claire and nothing else. This is probably pretty bad. Yeah, and he's just going to try and clear the field. Yeah, I think Haruno definitely has the advantage here. Because next turn he can either... oh, wow, tap moving back with Claire. That's interesting. But yeah, this turn he can either play a Sakura, bond another card with Femui, and then use Sakura's skill to draw 3 cards. Or alternatively, he can play Delthea, and Delthea ducks hand down to 2. Looks like he's going to go for Sakura, presumably. Yeah. In general, Delthea isn't an amazingly useful card versus Soren. It doesn't really hinder him that much, just because Soren's really good at rebuilding his hand once it's lowered. The main use Delthea has versus Soren is just when you're trying to close out the game. You can potentially hit some evades with Delthea's skill. Generally pretty likely because Soren keeps a low hand size, and thanks to Nino, a lot of those cards in his hand are probably going to be dodges. Haruno uses Sakura's skill to heal, sure enough. Did he have 2 black bonds? Oh, he did. That was bad ordering. He could have attacked with Maria before using Sakura's skill, and then Maria would have had 60 attack because he had 2 face-up black bonds, but now Maria's only going to have 50 attack. Anyway, since Haruno has less orbs than Duck, Sakura is going to be able to untap, and he'll be able to get presumably 2 attacks at MC, but Duck sacks the Woods, so that attack does not end up hitting. Oh, but he's going to make up for it with the Maria hit, which normally wouldn't be hitting. Would have hit anyways had he ordered things better, but overall, Haruno's still, I feel, pretty favored to win this game, so it shouldn't matter too much. This is pretty huge. Luckily for Duck, he has the dodge, so Haruno isn't going to be able to mess up his small army proc. Duck is going to draw 2 cards while still retaining an orb count of 3. A May would be very useful, and he gets it. This is huge. He's going to use Fry Foes to draw a card and possibly Seraphim the Sakura and turn his attention to hitting Femui, or he's just going to try and use Soren of May to clear Sakura and Maria off the board. So yeah, he uses Seraphim. We'll see whether he decides to dedicate an attack towards Maria,
or if he just wants to go face this turn. He could potentially Dark Staff. For those of you who don't know what Dark Staff Officer does, it's Soren's upper skill, and he's going for it. It lets you choose any enemy with 80 attack or more, and it makes all of your supports fail. In this situation, it wouldn't have even mattered, because he's self-supported, since Haruno's self-supported, but Duck didn't know that, so that was the right play on his part if he wanted to go for an offensive. He brings Haruno down to 1 orb. I'm not sure why he took the face down orb and left the face up orb face up and then dodged. Either I would have just taken both orbs there, or I would have just taken the face up orb and dodged to save the face down orb. Now he needs to use Robin 2 or Shigur if he runs it. I don't think he does. Pretty sure this is my family list, and I don't run Shigur to my family list, so he just needs to Robin 2 if he wants a chance to use Sakura again. Either way, still looking tough for Duck. Haruno just has a lot of cards in his hand, no doubt. Plenty of them are family dodges. He's probably going to grab another family dodge with Naui here. Yep, the family that he bonded earlier on the turn that he promoted with family, he does indeed grab with the Naui. And now Duck has to contend with an 80 base, a 90 base. He's just got a lot to deal with. Haruno just has more cards in hand. By virtue of being family, he has more field presence. I'm pretty sure this is looking like a 1 game for Haruno. We'll see if Duck can pull this back, though. Haruno might not actually have that many dodges in his hand. Unfortunately, being a spectator, I cannot see what this face-up orb is. You know what, I guess I can ask. No, I'm not gonna. I don't want to
disturb the game too much. That attack from Maria ends up missing. Duck is going to have a 5-card hand this turn thanks to battle with a small army. He bonds a Nino. He has 6 bonds, meaning that he could very well decide to play Bowie in a 4-cost mage this turn. He plays a Mist. Maybe he's going to play a 1-cost too. That way he can use Mist skill for free. We'll see what he decides to do. Nope, he's not deploying anything else. Not sure if I would have bonded that Nino then. I guess he just wants to ensure that he has enough cards in hand to activate a small army next turn. So he uses Worm Song and he targets Mist. Mist skill. Wait,
he doesn't have... Oh man, that's a misplay. Mist does not have 1 to 2 range. We'll see if Haruno lets him move Mist to the front row. Haruno is not obligated to allow Duck to move Mist to the front line, yeah. I'd be inclined to say no. That implies that. Alright, this is kind of fishy, but whatever. Did he Dark Staff? Okay. Alright. That's kind of fishy, but whatever. Shit happens. I believe it was an honest mistake on Duck's part. So Duck is mostly just going to try and clear this Naui. I don't know how much good it'll do him, though. Haruno is just way ahead as far as card advantage is concerned. Looks like Haruno is in position to end this game here. He won't be able to Wings Mist, but I don't think it matters that much. He's probably just going to try and hit Sword in the face a bunch of times to close things out here. At most, Duck has 2 dodges for Soren. If he orbs a Soren, then he'll have 3 dodges, meaning that he can take 3 to 4 hits. Meanwhile, Haruno is likely capable of taking a lot more than Duck is. It seems like it's a matter of time at this point. He goes for the Mist. I don't know if I would do that if I was him.
In general, when you're playing against Soren, unless it's like a priority unit like Mei that you really want to get off the board, I feel like you generally want to prioritize just hitting face, prioritize aggression, just because you clear his non-MC units, but he's just going to keep on drawing cards. So if you just spend the entire game trying to play the advantage game and clear his board, I feel like you're eventually going to... Oh, you can't do that.
Oh boy, 2 misplays in the very first game. We're off to a good start here, folks. It happens. Like before, I believe it's just an honest mistake. Generally is. Anyways, Haruno takes a very passive turn. I don't think I personally would not have done that. I would have just had Femui, Maria, and Robin all go face, try and exert as much pressure as possible. Because remember, before he flipped those 3 bonds, Haruno did have 2, I think he had. I should probably check that actually. He flipped 2 Corwins face down. Yeah, so he had 2 face-up, or he had 3 face-up black, or 2 face-up black bonds, my bad. Meaning that Robin and Maria would both be 60. They are both capable of swinging into Soren. And it looks like Duck is just going to go for an all-out offensive here, whereas Haruno was played very passively this last turn. It looks like Duck is going to do the exact opposite and just try and drive all of these mages into Haruno's face. He has a Nino, so he can grab and evade the Dark Staff, meaning that unless Nino and Soren self, they will hit Femui, and he probably has a Mei crit in his hand. That being said, Haruno has a 7-card hand. He's bonding Femuis very liberally, so 3 hits on MC probably isn't going to be enough to close it out here for Duck, and Duck will be left with a 0-card hand after this turn. So I still think that Haruno is probably going to win. Oh, and Duck decides to actually go for the Maria instead. Suppose it's not a bad play. He wants to play defensively. He recognizes that he has no chance. He has very little chance of winning this turn if he goes for the offensive play. If I were him, I'd probably clear the Robin too in that case. A lot of the time you don't want to clear the Robin. You don't want to give your opponent the opportunity to use Robin's skill again, get more orbs, because Robin's skill is based off of deploy. But Duck and Haruno have the same number of orbs, meaning that Haruno couldn't do that even if he wanted to. Oh, alright, so now he's going for face. Yeah, I don't agree with that. I really would have just gone for Robin. Maybe he'll have Soren go for Robin, because I feel like if he intended to go face this turn, he would have Dark Staffed. Of course, he could always just, like, crit, too. That's a very timely lineage proc for Duck. Now he won't be at 0 cards in hand. Does that? Oh, that does miss. Damn. Rip. Because Haruno got a flyer. That makes him 110. Mei is 30 plus 20 with support, so 50 times 2 is 100. It's not enough, even with a crit.
So yeah, if I'm Duck, I definitely try and kill Robin here, because Haruno can make Robin 60 this turn. It's going to be another card hitting Duck in the face. And Duck has to discard a Soren in order to hit Femui. Yeah, he's going for the Robin. That's a good play. Oh, it turned out he would have hit Femui. But again, like before when he Dark Staffed at the beginning of the game, he had no way of knowing that that was going to be a self-support for Femui, so that was still the right play. He looks like he's going to be going for Veneno. Never mind. No, he shuffled. He shuffled his retreat, so it looks like he doesn't have any Soren in his retreat. Hopefully that doesn't cost him. That'd be pretty tragic. Yeah. Oh, and the Delphia Overclass comes out. This is probably going to be it then. Haruno grabs a Mei and an Evade. We know what the last card in that hand is. It is a Nino. So, either... Yeah, Duck has to Orb and Evade here. That's pretty much the only way he survives for this. He also could, Delphia could whiff. Delphia, or... Oh, yeah. Oh, he's going for... Oh, man, Haruno. could very easily end the game this turn. I'm not sure why he decided to go for Nino. That is definitely not a play that I agree with. That does hit though. It's 100 into 100. Eliwood isn't going to save Duck there. Yeah, I don't understand why Haruno would do that. He's giving Duck more opportunities to win the game when he really doesn't need to. I think that it's a very safe assumption to make that you can just have Delthea and Family swing at Soren. You know the last card in his hand is a Nino because he revealed it with the lineage the previous turn. Let's see if Duck can make something happen. Maybe he has a 1-cost he can crit with. And if he does have a 1-cost he can crit with, that means that, yeah. I think that he's definitely going to go for face this turn. I'm pretty sure Duck recognizes that he has absolutely no chance of surviving this turn. He does deploy Mist on the front row this time. He could actually deploy her on the back row this time if he wants to. Previous time he didn't need to. Yeah, he's going to set up for the Dark Staff. He doesn't have much of a choice at this point. Haruno did bond a family. He's bonded a lot of... Oh, man. Are you sure you want to do that, Duck? I don't know if I agree with that. In that case, he's probably going to just tap move Soren back. You guys are both playing very passively. I don't know how much I agree with that. He does get a lineage proc. That's very good. That could potentially be another Soren dodge. Yeah, he tap moves back Soren. Haruno's turn. Let's see how Haruno handles this. He's going to Wings Veneno, no doubt. I'd be surprised if he didn't. He has a Naui. And he's probably just going to attack Mist a bunch. Now he's 90 into Mist 80, so presumably he's going to attack. Yep, there it is. Let's see what bond he grabs. I'm pretty sure he has some other families in his bonds to grab. I assume he's just going to grab those. Or he'll just grab a black card to fodder with Wings. He doesn't have anything better. Either way, I guess Duck has equalized this game to some extent. Haruno, it does still have the advantage, but his advantage isn't nearly as great as it was prior. And remember that Haruno could have very feasibly ended the game a turn ago.
And now it looks like this is practically an even game because Duck, he has the dodge. He grabbed it. He grabbed it with Nino the prior turn. He's going to draw 2 more cards this turn. He could very well end the game this turn because Haruno only has 3 cards in his hand. They could all just be family. I could just be wrong, but I don't know. This is looking a lot more winnable for Duck. All those cards could be families, but at the same time, Haruno has bonded a lot of families with Wings this game. I think it's fairly safe to say that not all the cards in his hand are necessarily family. I don't know what that face-up board is, though. That could also be a family. Who knows? Looks like Duck is just going to go for the all-out offensive. Yep, he's just dropping 1 costs. Yeah, it looks like... Is he just going to crit that? Alright, yeah, never mind.
I don't think Duck's going to win this game. That's unfortunate. He got a bunch of 1 costs in his hand. He needed something better than that. Oh, and he selfs again. Ouch. Probably had a May crit in his hand, but yeah, that is almost certainly game over. Haruno legit just needs to deploy 1 unit from his hand, and then Duck loses almost guaranteed. A bit slot. Well, I shouldn't act like the game's already won. I hope Haruno doesn't try and Robin here because he can't. Yeah, I'm not gonna try and act like there's nearly no way Duck survives this turn. He might. I've seen crazier things happen, but this is probably just going to be it right here. And if he does have an evade, then Robin kills. Oh, he does have the evade. Yeah, Robin is going to kill Claire, and then Family's going to finish things off. The only way Duck survives this hit from Family is Eliwood when Family selfs, and I think Haruno just grabbed a Family back from Naui. So, yeah, that is a good game. And we will move on to game 2.